This is Steve Andersen from the USBA, and I'm speaking with Mazin Shooni. He's also a director with the USBA, and we're on Skype. Good evening, Mazin, and congratulations on your win with Hugo in the Pan American Team Championship.
Well, thank you for inviting me to this interview. I'm very pleased to share some of the experience that I had in Colombia last week. And it was really a fantastic experience I had. Also, winning makes it more fun even, of course. And I was involved with so many beautiful people around me. The Colombians, they couldn't be any nicer. One of the things I was impressed about is the talent of the young players that I saw in Colombia. 18, 19, 20 years old, averaging 1.0 or better average. And they have the heart of a lion. I mean, they're just, the game over there is so much more advanced and so much more popular than we have in the States. Sorry to say that, but, we hope someday we'll catch on to that.
Well, are they doing anything specific down there, Mazin, to attract some of the young players? What are they doing? We're not.
Well, in most billiard rooms that we have in the States here, you walk in a billiard room and you see 20-some tables. There are probably 20 pool tables, and maybe we'll be lucky if we see one or two billiard tables in a corner somewhere. Where the exact opposite is in Colombia. You walk in a billiard room, you see 20 billiard tables, and one or two pool tables somewhere in a corner that no one plays in them. So the difference is they promote the game a lot much stronger than we do in terms of bringing in the what we call the grassroots, the young players, into the game. So that's a huge.
So about the actual matches or the tournament itself, I'd imagine you had you and Hugo had some tough competition. Any matches that kind of stick out in your mind that were close, or?
Well, in the past I have played one team championship at the Willie Hoppy Cup in 2001 in Carom Cafe, where I had Pedro Buena as my teammates, and we did good as well. Here I had Hugo Petino, and I didn't know how we were going to turn out or what I was expecting, but the performance that we played, we didn't put high averages like 1.5 or 1.6, but we managed to win the necessary games. So we played very hard, we fought hard, and we played almost 1-2 average, so it was not anything to be embarrassed about. It was a respectable average.
Well, if I had a choice between having a high average or winning a tournament, I'd take option 2. So,
I agree with you. Winning is always important. Sure, I agree with you.
Absolutely. Well, we're proud of you, and we appreciate both of you going down there and taking back the championship or whatever you want to say to the USA. So hopefully you'll have a chance to go next year as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anything else you want to talk about, Kali?
Well, first, I really want to give a special thanks to the USBA for supporting us and sending us to Colombia to play in the team championship and the singles as well. They know we are one of the strongest teams in South America and North America as well. So I think our chances were good to win. We came back with everything, singles and doubles. Pedro Buena dominated for the whole entire week. It was very special for all of us. I want to thank our sponsors as well, Tiger Products and Bertone, my personal sponsor, Bertone Tables as well. And it was a special event. This is my thanks to everybody as well.
Well, that's great. That's great. We appreciate that. I thought we'd turn to, you got a new room there in, what is it, outside of Boston or in Boston proper?
Yeah, it's 15 minutes north of Boston. It's in a city called Malden, and it's a very nice high-end private club. It's a dream come true for me. I've had a club before in New Hampshire. It was more like a sports bar. And my intention was to actually move billiards outside of a bar. I want to make it into a room like we had in back in the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great.
And it's a beautiful room, and I think people would love to come and see the room with all high-end equipment from Brunswick to Bretons and Cheviot and so forth.
Well, great. How many Breton do you have?
I have 5 Breton tables.
Fantastic. They're all 5x10s, and right? Wonderful. Okay. And you have how many gold crowns?
I have 8 gold crown 4s, Brunswick, brand new.
Oh, great. Well, that's...
I have 1 in the showroom. We have a showroom. I have 1 Breton in the showroom, and I also have 1 Brunswick Gold Crown 4 in my private room. We have a private room in the club as well.
Oh, well, that's great. So how did they find out about you? Do you have a website or something so they can find out how to become a member?
Yeah, my website is very easy. It's www.amazingbilliard.com, amazingbilliards.com. And it's I'm all over the Facebook and the internet, so I'm easy to find.
Great. Okay. Well, good. They can check that out.
Sure.
And I wish you the best with the room, and
thank you, Steve.
And I'm sure you'll do very well. One of the reasons I've been conducting these interviews is kind of a precursor to the Verhoeven Open. We're having a lot of international players coming, as we do each year, and
sure.
Obviously you're one of the dominant American players, and tell me about the Verhoeven Open or the Karam Cafe International tournaments that we've ran. You've played in, gosh, how many of them?
I played in all of them. I never missed one.
Oh, no kidding. How many is that?
I don't know. Since Ang Lee was around, he started doing the international tournaments in Karam Cafe. I've always made an attempt to come because it's a very special place to go and play billiards. I think Michael King does a wonderful job on running the tournament and inviting all these beautiful players from all over the world, anywhere from Bloomdahl, Codron, Saginaw, Eddie Leptins. I can go on and on, so many names. Now we have a special guest, as Eddie Mercy, never been in the States before, which was really a big treat, and I respect that a lot. And I think, when we go to, I go to every year, and I always make the final at Karam Cafe, and I've always been able to compete with all the Europeans. Now, can we beat all of them? No, of course not. We have to be realistic. But overall, we give them a good run for their money. So, sometimes you beat 2 or 3, but then, you cannot beat all of them. So that's how strong they are. And, of course, we learn so much when they come around, and this is all about learning and loving the game and competing as well.
Absolutely. Well, I know you'll bring your A game with you, so there's no doubt in my mind. You touched on a subject about the international players and how well you play against them. I've been asking them in the other interviews that I've done with the various players, and one of the questions I asked them is about why the American players are not the dominating force that, for example, you find in some of the European countries. And I was wondering if you have any thoughts about that.
Well, there's a variety of reasons. I mean, I can name a few main ones. One of the main reasons, first of all, we are a big country, and it's very difficult for us to travel all over the country and to see each other play at a strong level. The only time I actually see Pedro or Hugo Patino is if I'm in New York or I'm in San Diego or they come to Malden, to Boston. Those are one of the few times that we see each other to play at a high level. But, overall, it is so difficult for us to travel in the playing 6 hours or 5 hours, where in Europe, the countries are so near each other and they are so small. So it's easy for them to hop in a train for 2 hours to go from Belgium to Holland, an example, or from Germany to France, 3 hours. So those are the main issues.
Well, maybe we ought to come up with our own, state called the billiard state, and then we can all the billiard players can just move to that state, and then we won't have to travel so much.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Just a thought.
Of course, it would be nice. Yes, I would love to see that. But hopefully we are improving in this country. I think we see that, Steve. You're with us in the USBA. I think we're progressing on many different areas. And we just need a little bit of support from sponsors to come aboard and get us to the right direction.
Absolutely. You know, you also mentioned, promotion and getting sponsors. Having Kazum stream our Verhoeven Open, our tournament in New York City, that certainly should be a good thing for all of us, I hope.
Well, I really have to give all the credit to you, Steve, because you have done a wonderful job in terms of getting Kazum to the picture, to interview, to record the tournament. You also got to give you credit for interviewing all the players, including myself, for doing that. That's a great idea, which we didn't think about. I mean, you always come out with ideas that are really great for the game, and I know your heart is in the right place, of course, and it means a lot. So
you can keep going on. I'll take all those compliments. No, sorry.
Well, you deserve it because you earned it.
Well, Anna, since I'm getting this good information from you, and I've been asking the other players, I certainly want to ask you this as well. Do you have a practice regime or some sort of system, like you're going to be preparing next? Of course, you just got back from Colombia, but you're going to be preparing now for the Verhoeven Open. What do you have a system you use to prepare for a tournament?
Well, to be honest with you, my lifestyle doesn't allow me to practice 5-6 hours a day because I'm always working. And I'm always trying to, I have a big responsibility at work as well as home. And it's not so easy for me to spend time so much at the room because I'm constantly working. And whenever chance I get on the table for an hour or two just to stay next to the table to be, to have the billiard rhythm. But, to be honest with you, I think the best way to do, like I spoke to Pedro about his practice. And Pedro says, I work 4 days a week from open to close, no time to practice, but I'm off 3 days a week, so I take the 3 days and I practice 6 hours a day. That's a good system.
That is it, yes.
And he has his life more simpler than mine, just because I'm involved with so many different businesses.
Yes.
And it's not easy for me to really put the time into the billiard table, but I'm very lucky that I perform as good as I do with almost no practice. I play with people all the time in my club, and this is my practice.
Absolutely. Well, we all got our ways of doing it, and I think whatever works obviously works for you, because your record and your performance certainly indicates that. Other things that just any questions that the traveling part, gosh, you just got back from Colombia. Problem with that? Time zones, traveling, are you someone that handles that well, or is it bothersome?
Well, traveling time is always a problem with everybody, with all the players, I'm sure. Because you travel, you're wasting so much energy, you're on the road for 10 or 12 or 14 hours. Then you go to South America. But I always like to go there early, like a day or two before, so I can have the time to relax and maybe practice for about 3-4 hours before I play. And that's what we did in Colombia. So we went there a day ahead of time, and we had almost full day to practice. And that was good sessions for us. So, in terms of traveling, of course, it's difficult for everybody, but, we enjoy it. We love the game, and we look forward to playing in competition.
Yes. A couple things, and I've asked the other players this too, so okay. I don't know if we have a ranking system with the USBA or not. I think we do. Do you know how you're ranked or rated in the United States? Are you...
Well, I don't know if it's been updated yet, but I have won, and I played in the last 3 tournaments this year, and I've won all 3 of them. So I don't know how the ranking system works and what am I up. I'm always on the top 5 or 6, but sometimes I go number 2, sometimes I go number 3 and 4. So right now we're in the top 5 somewhere. I don't know exact number what I'm at, to be honest with you.
Sure. Well, anywhere toward the top sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
How about your average? Do you kind of keep track, or do we have? Does our organization, or do you have someone that keeps track of your average?
Well, for the last year, my average was almost 1.2, 1.187 for the whole year, general average.
Yes.
But this year I don't know. I think it's around this area as well because my average is always the same. I think it's 1.1 to 1.2 all the time. And I like to play 1.5, of course. But like I said, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of devotion to the game. And I just don't have it at the moment.
Sure, I understand. We all have our jobs to do.
Of course.
Well, I want to thank you for taking your time out, just getting back from traveling and being in that tournament, and so I appreciate the time you spend to talk to us. Any comments or anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I would like to advise all the American players that the best way to improve your game is. Really, don't be afraid to ask a better player how to improve your game and how to play certain shots, or how to learn more about the game to advance. And do not be afraid to ask, because most top American players or most top European players would love to answer you, because this is what we like to do. We like to promote the game and make it easy as much as possible to all the players. So this is the advice I would give to American players.
Well, that's great advice. Mazin, thanks again for taking the time, and it's good talking with you, and I hope to see you in New York or sometime soon.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Are you there? Are you there?